Tonight, from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs taking on Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football and certainly the loudest as we welcome you inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here at Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field and they are set to match up with the Houston Texans. The wait is finally over. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis here in the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
They often say you can't force situations, you just have to let them happen organically, and that's exactly what happened in Kansas City as Patrick Mahomes took over as the quarterback and has become the face of the franchise in the NFL as we now move into the 101st season. Fourth year in the league, already has an MVP, a Super Bowl title, and a Super Bowl MVP on his resume. 3 huge games in the postseason last year, 10 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, and 2 more on the ground. He just keeps getting better and better, and every time you watch him play, you want to see more.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
23-yard line.
To throw again on second down, Mahomes, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill. 77 yards, and the Chiefs are going to take a first quarter lead. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out now comes 2-time Pro Bowler Deshaun Watson in his 4th year now in the league as he gets set to operate this Houston Texans offense.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, the other team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
And the Texans.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
The ball carrier.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Second and 14. From the gun, here's Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Third and long, it's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ron Thornhill. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
A big play there on the catch and run. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
That's good.
Call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. From down at the 12, it's first and 10. Here now, the first NFL carry for the LSU man. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he stopped immediately there. Zach Cunningham, the leading tackler in the AFC in 2019, is there defensively.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense. Linebackers making plays.
And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Zach Cunningham rolling in to get the sack. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play?
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
The full team is involved in this game early, aren't they? Go down the field, score on offense, take the ball away on defense, and go right back and score again. You got to like the way that's working for them.
That's exactly right. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, two-score lead. A little bit like you at breakfast this morning. I got to get this in. You had a perfect omelet, dropped it, so a little bit of a turnover. You went right back, though, and got that omelet and crushed it.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Don't worry about your hands, though.
Yeah.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, first and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's complete to Fuller. What a gain of 6 there on first.
Will Fuller.
Second and 4.
Brings up second and 4 at the 28-yard line.
Here's Watson. Rolling to his right. And now he's going to use his legs. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
It's a gain of 2 yards, and it's third down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 9. First down, Houston. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another first and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
The ball carrier.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 29-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And
so now first and 10 in Chiefs territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
The ball carrier.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 13-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson buying time to his left. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
It's 2nd and inches at the 4-yard line.
This is David Johnson, the former All-Pro. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. A shotgun snap for Watson. Steps away to his left. His pass caught at the 4. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because...
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans draw a bit closer. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths, running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that, and it wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Kaimi Fairbairn to kick off for Houston.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this one will not be handled. It's into the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Time for another look at Patrick Mahomes and the Super Bowl champs. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. It's Kelsey on the ground. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a pass that's taken in by Hill, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Mahomes complete to his tight end. It's Kelsey. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know it's a little bit of a cliche to talk about all the tight ends who are really wide receivers in the NFL, but Travis Kelsey fits that perfectly. He led all tight ends last season with over 1,200 yards receiving, 4th in the NFL. I think he's one of the gold standards in the league for the tight end position, and I don't know if anyone has any more fun playing the game than Travis Kelsey.
37-yard line.
On first down, Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey.
Mahomes pass.
5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
A gain of 5.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
32-yard line.
Now it's Mahomes again. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Mahomes now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Mahomes to throw once more. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal.
At the 9-yard line.
And again, it's Mahomes. His pass caught at the 4. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain down.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And he whips that one incomplete there. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. But now it'll be third down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
And the Texans first down.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, Watson. He's got Fuller. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 20-yard line.
A gain of 12. First down, Houston.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. On second down, Johnson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
A 2-yard gain on the play.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Watson. Johnson's got it complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
Texans 10.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find one to get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And it's been a good game for him to this point, Charles. They're winning on the scoreboard. They got to be feeling pretty good.
And it's always fun for them when they're not just winning on the scoreboard, but they're contributing in a big way. You see him throwing touchdown passes, watching this video here. It's got to be a fun time for him and a relaxed time because nothing is pressing.
Relaxed, cool, calm, collective, all those things describing him right now. 30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Sammy Watkins is a former first-round pick in the NFL, and he sure reminded us during Kansas City's run to the playoffs last season. 10 catches in the AFC Championship game and a 98-yard receiving game in Super Bowl 54. He did talk about possibly stepping away and getting some time in the offseason. For Kansas City, very happy to have him back in their lineup and in their fold.
So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. In the early window, we'll have our eye on that game in Jacksonville. The Jaguars going to need to be on their A game as they'll take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Good games in the late afternoon as well, one being out in Santa Clara, where it'll be the 49ers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And then on Sunday night, the national audience in for a treat. They've got a good one lined up between the Dallas Cowboys and the LA Rams. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And able to get this out to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Tonight's game, the first of 256 to be played in the 2020 season, we hope. And then, of course, we'll have 13 more in the playoffs this year. Remember, that's 2 more than has been played in the past, as one more wild card team from both the AFC and the NFC will get a shot to play for a berth in Super Bowl 55 out in Tampa. That catch good for only a couple. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 74 yards. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
He went all the way into the end zone. Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
On the return, the Chiefs take over 1st and 10. at their own
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Right at the line of
in on the stop, Vernon Hargraves.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Staying on the ground with Washington. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener. And it's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On first, here's Washington. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Ball carrier.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From midfield, here's Mahomes. The tight end, Kelsey, has it over the middle. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
A 7-yard.
7 yards, the pickup there.
And 3.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete. Out of the end zone. Results.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Butker on for the field goal. A 32-yard attempt.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6.
Texans.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. And when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things out.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. Throwing again is Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
A gain of
11 yards there, first down.
First down, Texans.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Watson again. This is Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
It's now
from the 39-yard line. Here comes 2nd down and 6. Watson off play action. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 11 yards there, first down.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Houston.
From the 50, it's Watson. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now second down.
Incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. Open man, the tight end fells. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
19 yards.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
First down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Taken down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
18.
They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans.
Touchdown.
Duke Johnson. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Texans can take the lead with an extra point.
Lining up for the extra
Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Here's Mecole Hardman. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10. At their own 30.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
At the 48-yard line.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. The end result, 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Flush, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Whitney Merciless showing no mercy. Flies in for the sack.
6-yard line.
And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th.
Texans 25.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
At their own 25-yard line.
Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. He'll run it, and he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
A gain of
7 yards there and a first down.
Houston.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Johnson.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Watson looks to throw again. He finds his target, Fuller. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first.
It's a gain of 6. And the Texans first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The catch and run good for 18 and a first down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A first down carry here for Johnson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
The ball carrier.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Complete to Duke Johnson.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Now Watson going to sneak it. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. They'll run it with Johnson. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Texans have retaken the lead. They were able to stop him at the line on first down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination, and they got it done on the 2nd try.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Time now for Patrick Mahomes as we put him in our players' spotlight. Maybe he's wondering, hey, what else do I have to do? He's playing well as we roll through some of these highlights. Bottom line, though, they're down.
And while he may be wondering, he's got to get that out of his mind. He's got to think to himself, lead, continue to play well, maybe a little bit extra. That's what quarterbacks do when they're trying to get their teams into the victory lane.
See if he can lead them to that victory lane. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. A gain from the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards there, first down. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll bring up second down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Mahomes to throw. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And that takes us from second to third down. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Back to throw. Mahomes looking for Hill again. This time it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. This is caught. Watkins. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
He did a fine job there not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free. That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
To throw is Mahomes. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, and that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. They'll run on first down. It's Johnson, and now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. With 1 second to go, this to send us to overtime. And this doesn't get there. It's no good. They had to go for it, but their final effort here is going to come up short. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back.